Yes, welcome to Let's Talk Phys Ed. There's about 3 of us on the show right now who know what that's from. One of us does not. That's okay. We'll get to that here shortly. But as always, I'm your host of Let's Talk Phys Ed, Jason Steele. With me, as always, Tanner Roast. Tanner, I don't know where you're at on the screen. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm especially awesome now that you're playing some Mouse Rat. So that's a great intro song. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it was Sarah's probably idea, and you stole it from her, but
Nope.
that was great.
Planned for a long time.
He would never give me credit for that.
Never. Not even to her face.
All credit goes to Jason then, I guess.
That's right. My idea. So tonight, we are joined by another show. Last week, joined by the Open Forum Podcast Boys. Tonight, joined by It's Kinda Late with Sarah and Lisa, or Lisa and Sarah. I don't know which way it goes, but maybe they should switch it up every once in a while. I don't know, whatever. But we've got Lisa Smith, Sarah G.H., Sarah Gacher Hartman. I say it wrong every single time, even though she's been on the show 5 times. But Gacher. Say it. Gacher Hartman. I said it right. See? I said it right.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm fine. And we're excited to have them back on the show. And we've got some really cool questions for them. Excited to talk PE and more with these 2 hostesses of their own show. We're going to find out how they came up with that show and talk some phys ed. Who's ready? You guys ready?
Ready.
All right, Tanner, I think you're up first today.
Yeah, when I wrote these questions, I intended on putting your question first, and I forgot to go back and look at it. So I'm going to start with my question, and it's specifically for Lisa. So last year at Iowa AFERD, you sat uncomfortably in a classroom while engaged in, say, a heated disagreement with someone. First of all, I'm really sorry for that. But secondly, I want you to compare my argument style with what we can only assume Jason's is like.
Ooh, your argument style. Oh, I'm having flashbacks to that argument. Holy smokes, Tanner. Tanner, you were very calm and collected, and you held your ground. And I was impressed. With it. Jason, I've never seen you argue anybody, but well, maybe we had a couple. Did we have a disagreement when we were in Kansas City? No, I think we had a really good conversation. So
we just had really good conversation. The only argument I had with either of you 2 was with Sarah at the ground round. We argued, and it wasn't much of an argument.
No.
But things got political for about 45 minutes. About 44 of those was Sarah telling me how to be wrong and how to think, but
it definitely wasn't an argument. No.
It wasn't an argument.
Conversation.
It was me listening to Sarah talk.
Yes,
that's usually how it goes. But I think you're more of a. But you do take care of a conversation, Jason. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
But Tanner, you were very polite, and you stood your ground. You said your piece, and you agreed to disagree. So I give you a lot of credit for being able to handle that very well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. Have you ever agreed to disagree, or do you push buttons until you get your way?
No, I have to agree to disagree like daily. Yeah.
Right. I think you're both good at arguing. I think we're all really good at arguing because all we do is negotiate with children all day.
I like to refer to it as debating, but I'm usually right. So I don't, that's my.
I don't have that privilege. I'm usually not right. That's why I have to be polite about it. So when I say, "Oh, I guess I was wrong," at least I wasn't a jerk about it.
Yeah, no, I am never right. I was joking. I'm never right. So, so for both of you, Lisa, Sarah, speaking of Iowa AFERD, I would like to know whose idea was it to make an episode of It's Kinda Late where you pretended to be me and make fun of my North Dakota accent. I would like to know whose idea that was.
It was probably mine.
100%.
Because I mean, the three of us
You
were
weren't there though. It wasn't. You
Yeah,
weren't.
you weren't there, so we weren't making fun of you. We were just being you.
Oh,
Right.
And I think at some point in time, the two of you have also pressured me into talking with a North Dakota accent. It was either on the show or I made like my own video, and I practiced and practiced and practiced and had to Google phrases because I didn't know what to say. And so I already knew I could play the part flawlessly. And yeah, I think we just came up with it at lunch, and it was very spontaneous, as is every episode of our show that we create.
right. Well, that's how ours is too. I mean, Tanner like throws some questions down on paper, but really it's just, we're just hanging out with cool people all the time.
Right.
And I'm not sure Jason's going to read the
got back
questions
there, though.
either.
You
Yeah,
got, you got to be her though. You got to be her in South Dakota.
I did.
Right by the fire table
You're right.
That glow was perfect.
It was good. It was a good background. I had good. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was fun. And in all seriousness, though, when it comes to It's Kind of Late, how did the idea get started? How did the show start? Take us through that whole spiel there.
Lisa, you want to say it?
Oh.
Okay. So last year at Shape Tampa, we noticed that there were a couple of people, including Stephanie Sandino, who were posting recaps of their days from their hotel rooms. And you could tell that they were doing them very, very late at night. And last year we had this really crazy opportunity to share our hotel room with Judy LoBianco in the presidential suite. So we were like,
ours was attached to her.
yeah, so
en suite to
right.
the president's, but we also would act like she would allow us to come in there and we.
Yes. So it was like a penthouse. And so it was a lot of really late nights. And so we just decided to make a video one night, and then I don't know, it got like over 1,000 views or something. And so then we made another one, and we made another one, and we made another one. And they've kind of transformed over time in the format and what we talk about and how we approach them. But I think our first video in Salt Lake City will be episode 20. So that's kind of exciting.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you're catching up then, because we're on episode 48 as we speak.
Oh.
Jason and I happened to be in that penthouse one night extremely late. Yeah. We were trying to go back to our room, and somebody pulled us in there. Clayton pulled us in there. That was pretty swanky. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think that was the night where we didn't get to go to bed, and then we almost missed our flight the next morning.
Ooh, true that. Mm.
Yeah.
Like legitimate.
And for those people who watch our show and who watch your show, I would like to think that a lot of them are probably, from the Twitter world, obviously, because that's where our shows are at. And a lot of those people who end up going on Twitter end up being those same people that you see at those conferences. But for those of you who watch the shows that haven't been at these conferences, that kind of seems to be the theme, is when you get all of these PE people together and they start talking and having a good time. There's no such thing as like a curfew and going to bed early. Like, I don't think in Tampa I was in bed before 2 a.m. every single night, and I was extremely sick, couldn't talk, but toughed her out for the good of the group. But
exactly.
Yeah. So it's a cool idea. I like the idea.
I feel like we turn into vampires when we go to conference, because we stay up really late and then we get up really early. Yep. And we still function. I don't know. It's really,
somehow. Yeah.
I'm able to function that week, but I was dead for the rest of the next 6 weeks. It was like I go to work, I go home, and I just sit.
Just exhausted. Don't even
for it, but it's worth every second.
Yep.
Yeah, Lisa and I have already made the commitment that this year we're going to spend more time taking care of ourselves, and because
I've already been looking at spas, so that's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I'm looking at my schedule, and I have a commitment every single day, and so just to make sure that I'm able to function at my best and give back to the community or whatever, we're gonna be a little more strict this year than usual.
I hope that works out for you.
I do too.
So my last question
was
going Wednesday.
It's kind of late at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
It's not kind of late. It's actually good.
Hey, it'd be in a different time zone, so it'll feel late.
Oh, that's true.
It'll feel really late.
Go back
anyway, so hey, Sarah, I don't know if you know this, but I had my first solo open training in St. Louis last week. And I
Yes,
really
you
wanted to
did.
call you and see, if you wanted to have supper or something before I went back to Iowa, but there was a big problem.
It was
You see,
Valentine's Day.
it was Valentine's Day, yeah. So I didn't know if Justin would be okay with that. I didn't know how weird would that be if I told my wife, no, I'm going to go hang out with Sarah on Valentine's Day and not come home. What would Justin say? Like, heard all these thoughts. So I just thought, I'm not even going to call Sarah or text her, or I'm going to pretend I'm not even in town, even though I think I had told you previously. So what would Justin's thought have been if I would have shown up and would have spent the night hanging out with you two at a restaurant or whatever happens, a movie? Just I'm the third wheel. What would he have
He
thought?
would have been so happy that you had borrowed me for the evening and he didn't have to deal with me.
Where
For
would he have
real.
taken me?
Uh, let's see, because you were at a school district right by my house, actually, I think.
I was at
Um,
Babbler.
yeah, so that's really close to my house. So we
Oh, that's even worse. I should have.
no, actually, I had the flu, so we couldn't have hung out.
But Justin didn't
I
have
had
the
the
flu, right?
flu, and I was in bed for a week, so you could have gone to like a brewery with Justin or something.
That's what you should have done. You should have called.
Should have just called Justin and rescued him from me.
Can I talk to Justin? And then invited him out for supper.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what you should have done.
Yes.
That might have been fun. That might have been fun.
Stuff.
Next time.
Okay, so kind of for both of you now, lately, Tanner and I have had the privilege of, he lives in Iowa, I live in North Dakota, but we've been doing a lot of these conferences lately and get to see each other more often than just like once a year. And in fact, sitting next to each other on the plane from Minneapolis to Salt Lake City, which will be kind of interesting for Tanner because he knows that I don't fly well. So I don't know.
Raise your hand.
Yeah, no, there won't be any of that. But what's nice about when I've flown lately is I can just zone out, ignore everybody, and everybody ignores me. I have a feeling that Tanner's going to want to talk the whole time, and I'm just not going to be about it. Like, don't talk to me. I got to focus here.
Headphones.
But you guys kind of get to do the same thing, right? You travel around and you get to go to all these conferences, kind of like us, and you get to see each other. There has to be some, like, one really funny story, like your favorite one. What has happened that makes you laugh every time you see each other? You talk about it when you text. There's got to be one story, family appropriate, because we are a family show, even though we're on late too, and nobody really watches, but family appropriate show or idea that something that's happened.
Lisa, does anything come to mind? We think exactly the same, so I'm curious to think if you're thinking of what I'm thinking.
Well, I'm thinking about. Well, this isn't really family appropriate.
Say it anyway.
Drinking chocolate. I'm thinking of the drinking chocolate with Kim Ballard.
Oh, yes. I'm also thinking about Reg in our hotel room, and I'm also thinking about our flooded hotel room at the PE Institute.
Yeah.
So we walk into our hotel at the PE Institute, which I've been to 5 times, and Lisa's been a couple of times, and it's like a very comfortable atmosphere for us. And we like put our bags down, and we realize we have all this downtime, and we take off our shoes, and all of a sudden we realize the carpet is completely soaking wet, flooded. And we had to call the front desk like 100 times before we could get our room changed.
TED Talk.
Yeah, because we had nothing to do. So we watched the TED Talk about sloths, and then everyone thought we were experts about sloths. It was really interesting, but people were asking us about sloths the rest of the trip. And
we had to. Who was it that was having that session that night that made me talk about it?
Brandon Herwick.
Yes, Brandon Herwick asked me to talk about sloths to the entire room, and we talk about how they fart through their mouth.
They do?
Yes, they do.
You should have led with that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know how to tell stories, but lead with that next time. That's what I'll put a session in next year for Shape America. how to tell stories.
We'll make sure not to
You will
attend.
be the only attendees. Got it.
Hey, you mentioned Reg. So the entire Shape Tampa, I thought his name was John Henry because that's what he introduced himself as. So for the whole, so I was calling him John Henry, and then at one point I was like, wait a minute, I don't think his name's John Henry.
Everyone knows.
Was he wearing his glittery fedora as well at the same time?
Probably.
Did you beat
I don't
him
know,
at the
but
sale the first night when we had the mixer and you were, where's that way? That wasn't
Yeah.
when you were wearing your suit.
No.
Was it?
that was for sure when I was wearing the suit. That was why I was wearing the suit. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I ran into him a few times, and I didn't realize he was Big Montana. So
You would 100% do that. So that's fantastic.
yeah,
John Henry.
so I called him John
I'm
Henry.
actually flying with him out to Speak Out Day in a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a fun time.
I'm gonna call him John Henry the whole time.
Tanner, you're up. I'm excited for this one.
All right, so I asked Jason to send me a topic, and he said something that I was like, "What? That's just bizarre. Let's not do that." But I didn't say that to him because I'm nice. And then I realized that we're doing it anyway. So we're gonna play a game, and it's gonna be the Beards versus the Blondes, and one at a time, one of us is gonna whistle a tune, like a music tune of some type, and then we're gonna alternate, taking turns identifying the tune. So like Jason will, and we haven't talked about this yet. Jason will whistle, and of the three of us that aren't Jason, I'm gonna try to identify it. First team to get.
I'm gonna lose it when he whistles. I'm gonna lose it.
You
That's
guys,
good.
this
Instead, can we just listen to Jason talk with his whistling?
listen.
No.
Tanner didn't understand the text when I sent it to him.
Okay, so maybe you
This
should
now
present the
has-
question.
You're going to whistle a tune. We have to try to figure it out. He doesn't know that when I'm talking, sometimes I whistle like this, and that's how I wanted you to answer some questions. That's
weird.
Yes, he didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. All right, we're doing my game.
I think we're gonna have to move on to the next one.
No, we're doing my game. All right, so Jason, I'll start, and you've got to get this because we can't let the
I
Blondes
have
get
to
us.
answer
Okay?
before they do.
Here,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
good at
right.
this.
It's
Okay.
2 versus
I'm
1
not
right now.
good at this stuff.
Ready, set, go.
right. Ready?
Take me out to the ball game.
All right, 1 point. Let's talk phys ed. All right, Lisa or Sarah, which one of you is going to go next?
Good as hell. Lizzo.
Thank you.
I hope it doesn't keep going like that. I was lost.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
1-1.
Here we go.
It's not the Oscar Mayer Wiener Sandwich song, is it?
No.
What's a wiener
Yeah.
sandwich?
No, the M-A-Y-E-R. No. All right. I don't think anybody got that one. All right. Lisa, what was that, Jason?
What was that, Jason?
Go Cubs, go.
Oh,
Oh, nobody knows
I
that.
wouldn't think he would sing that.
Well, yeah, dummy.
I know.
trying
I
to
should.
hide
It's like me singing "We're Gonna Win" Twins to you because the other two aren't gonna. Well, maybe Tanner would get it.
I wouldn't.
Whatever.
Although the minor league team's from my town. But
Figured as the Cubs fan, he would get it, but
So you gotta just.
I hear it now. All right,
Something I
Lisa,
know.
you're up.
Okay.
got the Cheers soundtrack. Or-
Hold on, let's do it again. It's hard to hear you. Is it Missy Elliott? Oh, I thought it was Get Your Freak On.
No.
I'm gonna make mine significantly easier next time.
Mine's very.
I like how I'm wearing headphones, but getting closer to the screen like that's gonna help me hear you.
I am too.
Sarah, I can't believe you didn't get that.
I could
What was
barely
that?
hear you.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
What was it?
Rude. It's like our theme song.
Oh, it was, and it's probably Spice Girls.
Yes.
Wanna be.
Oh.
I'm fine with you.
All right, still 1-1. We might have to be
That's
first team to
exactly
get
what
to
it
3.
No,
right.
we
On the
gotta
one.
move on after this.
All right, we're moving on. All right.
Yeah. I mean, cool, Tanner, but we gotta talk like verbally
All right.
talk instead of text for my question ideas from now on. 'cause
Maybe you should
All right.
whistle.
Why don't you whistle? Why don't you whistle talk to
that
us the next
was
question?
just silly. We'll get them next
Okay.
time. Okay,
We're leaving it at a tie.
Sarah,
Ugh.
Yes.
Parks and Rec is
Mhm.
literally my favorite show right now. Okay, and if you don't get the joke, you need to watch Parks and Rec, right? But what I want you to do, you're gonna pretend that these characters are in your classroom, okay?
Oh no.
And you're doing parent-teacher conferences for these characters. So when their parents come in, you're giving the parent-teacher conference for this student, okay? This character from Parks and Rec. Are you ready?
Okay.
Andy Dwyer.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Dwyer, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but your son really needs to start keeping his pants on in class. Sorry.
Okay, that was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
You got it.
Chris Traeger.
Mr. and Mrs. Traeger, Mr. and Mrs. Traeger, your kid is literally the smartest student I've ever taught.
Very
Good?
good. Very
Good?
that
I
was
like it.
good. Off the top of your head, that's pretty good. April Ludgate.
Oh, she's terrible. But she gets a really good
You
personality
can't
by
say
the
that to the
end.
parents.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Ludgate, I'm really concerned because your daughter is super apathetic about everything.
Okay, yep, that sums
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah?
Tom Haverford.
Your child is so incredibly creative. He comes up with all these spontaneous ideas. They don't always work out, but man, is he a go-getter.
God, you're
Right
good.
on.
You are very quick on
That's
your
This
good.
next one's my favorite. This next one I hope she nails.
John Ralphio Saperstein.
I've decided that I think it would be good to have your child meet with the school nurse because I'm a little worried about his activities on the weekends, and he might not be as safe as he should.
Yeah,
All
probably.
right.
I'm gonna save that one for the end. Donna Meagle.
Oh, Donna? Donna is, how would I describe Donna? Donna is, she knows what she wants. She's incredibly ambitious. She's an independent thinker and a leader in the classroom.
Ooh. All right.
And why don't you two go treat yourself
Treat
to a
yourself.
nice big meal because she's doing so well.
Yes.
Leslie Knope.
She gets a gold star on everything, and she will only talk about historical health figures that are females.
Right on.
Last one, Ron Swanson, a.k.a. Jason Steele, a.k.a. Ron.
You are not Ron Swanson.
That is, he is my spirit animal, yes.
You don't know what a libertarian is.
Yeah, but just
No, that's him though. Okay, Ron Swanson is Ron is always late to class because he doesn't believe in a schedule, doesn't believe in working with the establishment, doesn't believe in public funding for education.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
You went the other way with it. I meant like just, in
I can't.
how he is.
Ron's the hardest. Ron's the
He is.
hardest. He's a lot
What do you
like
think
my
his
husband.
favorite
He's
sport
weird.
is?
Ron?
Yeah.
Axe throwing, easy.
Maybe where they like stand on those logs and spin in the water.
Hunting and axe.
Really?
See, I always thought he liked golf because of all the, when he'd wear those red polos.
Oh, the Tiger Woods polo.
Oh, his Sunday polo.
No, I don't think you guys got that inside joke.
Lisa, you need to watch the show because
I
clearly
feel like I've
you're up there
significantly let you down.
you're sitting up in the corner just confused right now, but that's okay. You gotta watch the show. You watch the show, you'll
I've
get all
watched
the
it.
jokes.
I think I've watched
Right.
one episode.
Took me a year and a half to finally decide to watch the show after Jason told me I started watching it.
Finally.
All right, Lisa,
No,
this one's for you.
Fall to your pressure.
All right. Hey, I know that e-cigarettes are starting to be a big deal, and I saw that you got to talk to some important people about e-cigarettes. Can you tell us kind of about the efforts that you've been making up there in Minnesota?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a swing from what we just talked about. No, a representative from one of the suburbs of Minneapolis wrote two bills that were actually the brainchild of some high school teenagers, and so they recognized that there was an issue in their school, and so they actually got some funding and wrote a program that has been really successful. So it's been really great, and so that kind of prompted the bills. And so two bills were put on the table last week, and they were seen by the House committee, and then and they were passed through. And so I testified um, on behalf of them. The first bill is actually going to mandate vaping education in middle school, once in middle school, and it's requested that it's done in high school. So that verbiage is a little unclear as far as I would have liked it to be mandated in high school, but they looked for just one or the other at first. And so that can always be changed and brought to life later. But anyway, the second one has monies attached to it that high schools can apply for through the state that they would help them with education efforts. And so what it looked like for them. So that's kind of neat, is that they can kind of tailor it to what they need, whether it's going to be educating staff or if it's going to be like a program for the students or all that kind of stuff. So that's really great. It was overwhelmingly passed. And then actually I get to go back in a couple weeks and testify for the Senate. So then hopefully it'll get passed through there, because there was quite a few people who gave testimonies, and so they narrowed it down to 3, and so I get to go back. But I got a a different representative asked me some pretty pressing questions, and it was pretty good afterwards. So if you're really interested, you can watch the whole thing. It's on YouTube.
I would have been nervous as all get out to go do that stuff. I'm not an awesome advocate by any means. So thank you for doing that for the state of Minnesota, for, maybe that trickles down everywhere else. So thank you.
I hope so. I mean, and they were talking about that of other states that have legislation yet. And well, the representative that I was with, she didn't know of any other states that have actual verbiage in state law yet. So I don't know. It could be wrong, but I'd love to hear if there are other states that have it in there, so we can talk more about it, because Education Minnesota was also our union, and they're also, of course, backing it. Mm-hmm. And just talking a little bit more about that. And so it's good.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Good job.
I'm gonna make this a little bit lighter on the similar note. I was going to tell a funny story about my dog. Now, he passed away this week, and when he was just about, a couple months old, he weighed maybe 2 pounds, 3 pounds. He ate a pack of cigarettes that you're not supposed to do that. And he got it off the table or something. It was before I met my wife. And then she put him in his cage, and he proceeded to spray every single wall, all over the cage, all over the walls, the windows, the tapestry, the bed, everything he could reach within shotgun distance, sprayed it right out his rear end. And apparently it was the hardest thing to possibly clean up. So we're trying to get that nicotine and that tar out of people. So that's not good for dogs either.
An animal.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna remember from Max, is that he shot all that out there, and I didn't have to clean it up.
No one needs nicotine. Let's be real.
Yeah, bad stuff. Okay, shape SLC. Raise your hand if you're going to be there. Yep, all 4. That's what I thought. Fantastic. Any specific plans while you're there, like presenting, hosting Phys Ed Chop Challenge again? Is that, you guys doing that? Tanner wants me to throw out the We'll note here that Iowa won last year, so good job, Iowa. Good for you. I'm sure we'll get some likes for it on Twitter. So
Yeah, they were already texting us about it this week, actually.
yeah.
And wondering.
So
So no, there's not going to be a Phys Ed Chap Challenge this year. I've decided to retire it, although there are people who have been doing them for like professional development in their states or their districts, which is great. I just feel like it's time to move on and let, other things kind of go on and all that kind of stuff. But I am involved in a lot this year at the conference, and my original goal was to not be involved in very much, and that's just didn't happen. So I'm flying out early actually to visit some family in Salt Lake City, which will be awesome. And then I'm on the Shape America Emerging Leaders Innovation Team, the ELIT. Emerging Leaders is just a fancy word for pre-service teachers. And so we're running a workshop on Tuesday. Lisa and I and a couple other people are running a social for college students on Wednesday night. I'm doing a session with Adam Metcalf and Seth Martin about World Games, since all three of us are really into that stuff. And then some of us, including Lisa, we're doing an inclusive PE session on Friday that's going to have an ongoing PD piece to it, which is something new that the ELIT team's going to do, where people can continue to receive professional development about the topic through social media once the conference is over. And then on Friday, I'll also be at the Hall of Fame banquet, not only because I want to go, but because I'm also on the committee that is determining who the middle school teacher of the year is this year.
Fantastic. So busy.
Yeah, busy, very busy.
Yeah. Lisa, how about you?
Yep, I have all the things that she talked about, and I'm like the ELIT hype girl. It seems like I'm not on the team, but I don't know. I still get roped into fun things, so that's exciting. Thanks, guys. I've got a bunch of meetings. Yeah, so do you, Jace.
Yep.
We've got a bunch of meetings. Delegate stuff for being president of Menchate. So I'll see you there.
I'll be there.
And then we've got some central district meetings and our awards that we're going to. We have, yep. Well, we all could go to that. We're all central district. So come on, Sarah, come on over.
All right.
You can come crash the party. We'll all be for that. And then I have some things going on with the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Task Force that I sit on for Shape America. So we've got some fun things with that I can't talk about yet.
All right.
Then,
we break news on this show, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Big time, yeah.
And aren't we on the social media crew too?
Yeah, we are. We're on the social media. What is that called?
I think it's called the social media crew. I think.
No,
it has a cooler name than that, maybe. But it's awesome. Basically, Shape America asks certain people to just be on the media crew, and then Shape America guides people to look at your accounts throughout the week.
Sure.
But it also comes with a couple of perks. You get at least last year we got special seating at the general sessions, and it was kind of nice.
Yeah, I've got some fun things coming up, and then I do have my own session.
Social squad.
We're on the social squad. Yes, I got some fun
What's your
things.
session?
I got some tricks on my sleeve that you're just going to have to wait to see there. Number one. Number two, yes, I have the greatest time slot ever for my only session, or my solo session. So if you all are really inclined at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning to come listen to me speak, I'll be there. Talking about
I'll be there.
Piping up high school PE, and it's going to be bomb. It's actually a classroom session. I used to do it as a well, no, that one was always classroom session, and it's good. It's fun. I like talking about it. Just jazzing up the PE, the high school PE. Bring back your roots to elementary. So I talk about that a lot.
Cool.
I went to an 8 o'clock on Saturday last year.
Yeah, you're gonna come to mine too, Ted. So see you there.
All right. I'll wake you up, Jason.
Because you teach high school.
As a baby.
It's fine.
So that was fun tonight, right? That was awesome. Can't wait until, I'm sure both of you will be back on the show again at some point because, Lisa, the second time. Sarah, like
I have 3 times more I need to catch up to her.
time or something. I don't know.
We can have you guys on our show
Yeah.
in Salt Lake City.
I think
Yeah.
Shape
Do that.
SLC will have to make an appearance on the show and return the favor. Yeah,
Our show
absolutely.
is, yeah.
Are you
we're
guys going to be doing any
gonna-
live recording at the expo hall like you did last year?
No, we're not doing what we did last year. We've talked about a few small ideas.
We've got
I
some
don't know.
tricks up our sleeve too, Lisa, but you got to
Oh.
wait to see them. Actually,
We don't know how it'll work, but
don't,
we hope it
but
works.
now we're kind of feel like challenged that we have to. So, so maybe we will. Maybe Tanner will come up with something awesome, and then I'll just
Take credit for it.
take credit for it. Yeah,
Yes.
It's always the other way. It's always Jason's idea.
yeah. So, but thank you so much for joining us again. Love having you two on the show and talking phys ed with you two, and we will see you in roughly, what is it now, 58 days or something, 59 days?
Close.
Something like that.
Pretty close to that, right? But as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Steele. With me, Tanner.
See ya.
Very, very nice, Tanner. Very nice.
Oh, is
All
that?
Lisa and Sarah.
Okay, I'll give you a point if you can get it.
That was.
Don't worry, be happy.
That was
All right,
already
girls win.
exactly.
Girls win. Yay.
Good for
2
you.
points, 2-1.
We
All
won.
right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.